So here we are with the Stanford versus TCU game. And this is a bit later in the season. TCU's 10-3 and Stanford's 9-4. But let's watch Harry do his thing against a spread team. All right, so he reads this running back RPO option. What's a doodle? And he's grabbing onto the center or guard here, and TCU's offensive line isn't the best. I haven't seen the whole game, so let's not make any assumptions. But he is able to gobble up this running back. So on this, where are the linebackers? Where are the ends? Well, they have condensed in and are being taken out by the tackles. So all the guards in the center took out Harry, and the tackles are taking out the ends. Look at your linebackers. Nobody's crashed in and condensed the space. That's frustrating if you're a traditional 34 nose tackle. You're being taken out by 3 guys and nobody else is doing their job. I've been getting this pretty crazy cough. See, I like that. Guys, and again, here I am, and this is completed. This is ridiculous, but here I am once again saying, okay, you're rushing 4. Okay, here's the pressure. Here, what are you doing here? And then Harry's taking on 2 dudes. We've got a linebacker or safety, little tiny number 13, doing diddly. And number 34 and number 67 or 72, whoever you are out there by number 68, the other sack of potatoes. You ain't doing nothing to get pressure on this, and this happens. Can't blame Harry for taking on 2 dudes. Like, you can only take on 2 dudes for so long, and somebody has to make a play. Somebody somewhere has to do something. Even Vita Vea doesn't hit them every time and make a play on every single play. Plenty of times where he's been washed out. Yeah, I'm almost positive that this TCU film isn't going to change anything if you only watch these 3 pieces of tape. That you will have not seen anything different, because we've just seen 3 teams that have running quarterbacks, 3 teams that spread the ball out, and 1 team that was run dependent and had a great offensive line. Who probably won't get the talent that obviously needs to go in the proper rounds. Here he gets off his first assignment on 70, brings on to the next guy, sees the running back, makes that play to condense the space. Running back has to turn back the other way, and he gets one of his other players to make a play on him. That's what I'm talking about. And I mean, if you're creating pressure like this, where they run a stunt to the outside and he slides down the line, and then he gets his one-on-one, and look, full arm extension, pushing a dude and condensing the space, you're cutting space away from the quarterback. If you're taking a full arm extension, pushing a guard or tackle out, and closing the gap, look at the arm extension on the left, now trying to grab a quarterback. You've created your own pocket, kind of. You've created your own trap space. It's like a Venus flytrap. When it opens up and then it slowly condenses the space and then the fly is completely eaten. That's exactly what Harrison Phillips did here. Harry condensed the space and created a small area where he's pushed a guard out so the quarterback doesn't want to run into his own guard or tackle, and he's pushing his left arm and rest of his body towards the quarterback to condense that space. It was a neat idea, and then the quarterback is of course a running quarterback, so in college football that always aggravates the heck out of me, but I digress. There he goes for a swing move on the center. He does a quick pull, then releases and tries to go through with a swim move, and the center just drives him to the ground. That's that play. Look at that. Look, he's just tackling him into the ground. All right. Sure. Let's see here. Yep, and he immediately rolls out because he knows that it's a running quarterback, so I should get out to the outside because it's taking too long for our guys to get there. I'm not getting here taking on two dudes that are literally holding me. So I need to switch out and go out to the outside. I'm not athletic enough to get there, but I know that's where the quarterback's going, and that's exactly what happens. Tiptoes into the end zone. By the way, go subscribe to Cut Up Corner. Huge shout out to Cut Up Corner. Please DM me when you can. Your film is awesome, and I really appreciate you for being the one guy. See, the relentless play by Harry. Terrible Harry. Goes to the outside, kind of lumbering around, but he sees what's going on right here. He sees the quarterback making a run. So he's going to go ahead and start making his run to the outside. Quarterback dips around, and he makes the tackle. He's not the most athletic. He's got long arms. He needs to better utilize those. But I think he knows how to use them a little bit. There are some times where there's questionable leverage, but I think that also has to do with he knows where the gap is. Look, he's looking at the running back. He knows where the gap is, and he's trying to cover two places because Stanford runs a funny... They're built for big mollies versus big hog mollies battles. That's why the Notre Dame game looked so much better than the San Diego State game, because San Diego State was built for complete speed. TCU's built for complete speed, so they are abusing this offensive line when it comes to blocking pass protection. This defensive line is getting wrecked because this offensive line and this offensive scheme is built for speed and spread. That's what they're doing, and they're getting the better of it. The score's not showing it, though. It's 28-16 in Stanford's favor. But this offensive line looks silly. Or, excuse me, the defensive line looks silly. They don't get a lot of pressure on them because they're bigger guys used and built for bigger things. So if you're a team that plays, you know, bigger teams, bigger offensive line. If you're in the NFC West, and you have to play against Todd Gurley a lot, you might want Harrison Phillips as a defensive tackle. What in the world were they doing there? A big man trying to catch a ball, and he just did not have the ability. Now look, it's 37-36, 6 minutes left. I mean, he's the first guy to recognize that this ball's going to the outside. Look at that. Look at that. Everybody else is pushing. And he recognizes that that's not good. I better try to lumber out there and try to help my team make a play. He gets utterly blown up here. And he gets just too high. He gets too high here. And their whole purpose here was just to smash him and create that hole. I don't think Stanford's really worried about gap assignment. Stanford, University of Stanford, an athletic program, you may not like me after I say this, but I don't really think you care about gap assignment, do you? You have one big man take on two guys, and you're hoping that 2 or 3 other guys will go in there and make a play. That's it. Everything else is built on linebackers and DBs, isn't it? So, where are we sitting at now? We are sitting at Cal. Now we're at Cal. This is a little earlier. 2 games earlier in the year. So, let's take a look at what happens here. He's me in the center here. Pushed. This is the first game that the Falcoholic did not look at. So, let's take a look. Looks like they are dialing up the same stuff that San Diego State was dialing up. So the linebackers for Stanford need to be on point because the initial push is going to be good. Way to go. You get to see at least one of these every game. But there he goes. He starts up in the center. Harry sifts through the first blocker. The 2 lead blockers coming through don't even notice that he's there. And then he makes this play on this running back. Great job, Harrison Phillips. Great job. Whoop. 99 doesn't even block him. Old sack of potatoes. Teams like this. Initial hit. Let's watch that again. Initial hit here. Boom. Makes contact. 2 guys. Doesn't fall. Doesn't fall. Trying to look for the positives here. Look, he's the lone guy in the middle. They run a stunt and they finally get him on this stunt. Is that what they've been doing? That's the play that they have wanted to get off all year up to this point. After 3 videos, all different points of the year, let's watch. This is the thing that they want to work in Stanford. A stunt up the middle to get the line to push all towards Harrison Phillips because he's a big, strong man. And to get that initial rush to work enough so that when they pull the one guy off one side and pull that stunt and he gets through, that there's initial pressure. And every dream scenario is for a quarterback to turn around and realize that he's about to get popped. That is the most ridiculous nonsense that I've had to witness throughout this tape. Is the same play getting run over and over and over and expecting a different result with teams like this who are going to run this type of stuff, like San Diego State and Cal. TCU has done it a little bit too, though their running game wasn't as great. Look at that one more time. Gets the arm up underneath the center, but still gets a little washed out here. Would have thought that he would have at least made some contact with that quarterback. Oh man, he makes contact here and they just open up the hole. Now it's the linebacker's turn to get into that hole. The linebacker needs to be in here. He needs to have already gunned through here and knifed It's like those old cell phone games with football where everybody just gets bunched up and then the quarterback either makes the throw or he doesn't. It's exactly what I see here. And he's chasing this dude. This is ridiculous. Good job holding the point, and then somebody else's gap allows a big run. Watch this. Boom. Holds the point, gets low. Running back sees another lane somewhere else and chooses it. Good push into the backfield and then making a contact with the running back. That's great. More compact guards, centers, tackles are going to get the better of Harrison Phillips until he learns NFL quality training and how to get where he needs to be. But that is a little ways from now. That's a little bit. Right now, if we're looking at Harrison Phillips for who he is, we are looking at an unpolished player. He has smarts. He has the mental capacity to play this game, and he has shown flashes and flares of what he needs to do to be a good player at the next level. But Stanford, I don't know what kind of scheme this is, but it's malarkey. It's bunghole. And it's I need more TP for my bunghole for this defense. I'm sorry, Stanford peeps, you guys, your defense is just wacky, Laffy Taffy, because Herrison should be in there making some plays. Your defense has plenty of chances to make plays everywhere. There's going to be a holding back there, though. Thank goodness. Finally making a call. Goodness grief. He was on that play, too. They're going to pull everything over to the right, or well, to the defense's left. Harrison just doesn't have the athleticism to do that. He needs to be in that short space. I don't think Vita Vea makes that play either. Good push on the line there, and they go the opposite direction of where Phillips is pushed. And a running quarterback. Ooh, I love it. It's my favorite. Disappointing, deflating, even when you have a quarterback like that, and you're not rooting for a guy. You're just like, this guy can succeed. And every time you try to point out that he can succeed, a running quarterback comes in there and does stuff. Good get off. Needs to fight with his hands. Yep, boom, gets the flag. What am I telling you? He just, at the end, he just throws his hands up, just like, what do you want me to do? Like, are you gonna throw the flag or not? And they do. Needs to use his hands to fight a little bit more. He was using his left. You could see him pushing the left out, kind of like a karate chop. Reaches out, just like, hey, he's holding me. And yeah, he's kind of getting held. Well, that's what they do with big men. Oh, punishment. Punishment for getting held. This is what I love to see. Sorry for this young man getting punished. Oh, he dropped the ball. That's why he had to take it. Well, you got punished anyway, kid. Miscue in the backfield here, and Harrison sees that it's going. He sees the ball still in the quarterback's hands. He just pounces. Bam. But yeah, against guys who are what's going on here? Oh, they called a false start. Against teams that are going to be more spread, ain't gonna be too fun for Harrison Phillips their first year or two. But teams that are going to be more traditional, I think Harrison Phillips will thrive in that. But we're not done with the tape. How's it going, guys? It's your boy Lieutenant Dan. Just wanted to end this video saying that is the end of part 2 of Harrison Phillips, Horrible Harry. And I wanted to ask you guys in the comment section, let me know, what did you guys learn from this film? Now that you've seen part 1 and now part 2, part 3 coming up soon. What did you think of Harrison Phillips? What did you think of some of the things that I said about Stanford and some of the things that they're doing there? Just let me know in the comments where you think that he'll get drafted. Where do you think that he will be most value? What team will get the most value out of Harrison Phillips? Remember to follow us at UNGR_show on both Twitter and Instagram. Make sure that you subscribe. Hit that like button if you learned something today, or if you like the content of this video. Hit the dislike button if you obviously didn't like this video, and tell me the constructive criticisms in the comments section of what I can do better, or if there's something that you would like to watch from my film breakdowns. Is there a player that you want to see put down on the film breakdown side of it? As always, you can go to the Patreon, help support the channel. $1 donation, you won't even miss that $1. I don't think you will. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Remember to hit the notification button so that you guys are always notified of what's going on and when my film drops. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.